Hello and welcome, my name is Ajaxpost and today we're taking a first look at a game that's only just recently been released. It's been on early access for a little while, but on November 16th, 2020 it was released in version number 1, and that's what we have here, Rover Mechanic Simulator. So why am I looking at this game? Well, a little bit of history, if you will indulge me for a moment. A few years ago, I picked up a game called Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. I think that was the version I got. It was going really cheap, and it looked like it might be fun, so I gave it a shot. I mean, I am not in any sense a practical man. I do not do DIY. I know nothing about cars apart from I like the ones that I like to drive and the ones that look aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, I know very little about cars, but it was fun, and I actually rather enjoyed it, and I think I actually bought a couple of the expansion packs for different types of car and stuff that you could repair. So when this one came out, it was part of the Humble bundle in November. I thought, I'll give it a shot, see what it's like. So that's where we are here today, and because I'm a bit of a space nerd, I mean, I grew up when men were first landing on the moon. The whole excitement about that space travel back then, in the early 70s, was, well, I was really enraptured. I was entranced by it all. So this kind of fits in to my kind of mindset, really. So let's have a look at how this game plays. So starting off, it's got this nice sort of science fiction-y feel, which is rather cool. I'll carry on playing my existing profile momentarily, but I'd like first just go through setting up a brand new profile. I'll call myself Ajax the New Boy. There we go. And it's got this nice little mechanic thing where you just hold your thumbprint to the screen and carry on working from there. So let's do that. There's various options you can set in here. The language, how many languages do they support? Quite a few. Go back, controls. We've got all this. I don't tend to worry about these because I just use the mouse and whatever keys come to hand. I don't try and remember all this stuff, as you may have seen before in my other videos. So we'll come out of there. Audio. Yeah, we've got sounds. Music, we'll come on to the music as we go into the game, so hopefully these levels are okay and they're not drowning me out. And the video, oh yeah, all sorts of, I have no idea what bloom, I do kind of know what vignetting is, an aberration, whatever. If you know what these do on your screen, then they're there for you to make the appropriate changes. So it goes up to 1920 by 1080. Okay, so well, I'll accept all that. That's fine. Let's get into the game. So we start off in the airlock, and we start off with your tutorial missions. And it says there A or D to switch messages, which means previous and next, basically. So we'll scroll past these. Yeah. It tells you through. It does actually give you a good insight into how the game works. So 4 and 5, but they're not actually interactive, so you have to remember what it says there in respect to what else you can see on the screen. So I'll press the space bar to carry on. So I need to move forward a bit, and I need to interact with the door control to open the airlock. And here I am, and this is my lab. It's my workshop, whatever you want to call it. So we need to collect tools. Where are our tools? Oh, there they are. Yeah, you see those little diamonds. If I'd been reading the tutorial, I would have found them. So what have we got here? We've got a cordless drill. So we'll left click to click that, take that. We have got, what's this, a case full of tools? Yeah, we'll take that. And there's something over here, which was the tablet. Now that tablet is very, very important. So this now explains to us our workplace. Almost all the devices are unavailable at the moment, but we'll learn about them as we go through. Now this thing here is a radio. It's a digital radio. Yay! And we can use the left mouse button to turn it on and see how it works, what stations we have available to us. So we'll come out of there. So we'll click on that. And we've got a choice of, I don't know if these are all streaming safe, but this one certainly isn't. This is where you can put your own music in. So if you don't like any of these sort of built-in tunes, you can put your own music in here into this special folder in the Steam Apps folder. So it gives you the details there. And I've tried that. You can just put any MP3s, OGGs in that are your favourite music tracks, and you can listen to them while you're working on the rovers and these Martian mechanical things. So we'll try pop music, I think. There it goes. And you've got volume control here. So I'll keep that down. Hopefully that's loud enough for you to hear, sort of hear, without drowning me out. One cute little thing, this is also a sort of working space, and you can remove the radio, which horrified me for a moment when I thought, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I haven't got a radio to listen to anymore. But you can put it back. We'll discover that when we get to actually working, how the tools you use for that, when we get into the workbench itself proper. But one thing I noticed when I did that, I took the radio away and put it back, is I lost this last option to put my own music into the radio. It came back when I reloaded the game, so it wasn't gone completely, but it was just an odd sort of glitch, I think, in the game. Okay, so it's telling us now about the PCB table, which is this one here, I think, just on in front of us on the left there. And that allows us to work on circuit boards, which is fine. Okay. So let's wander around to all these here. Oh, and this is the ECU, the Electronic Control Unit configuration machine. Again, that's part of the repair and restoration of the machines that you're playing with, or the rovers that you're simulating repairing. We'll see how that works. That's kind of a mini game in its own right. That's our workbench. We'll obviously come back to that later. Now here's one of our main computers. That's the bit this here on the right hand side, the 3D printer. This is where we recreate all the components that we take off that are damaged or non-functioning and we need to replace. We actually build them from a thing called simply resources. So we can print pretty much everything we want to replace in our repair process through the 3D printer. Oh, and it says that you can get more resources by completing quests, which is what they call the jobs, the repair jobs. Slightly odd, but there you are. This here is our main control unit, and this this is a cute little thing. The first thing it does is manages the crane, which gets your incoming jobs, the rovers, the machines that work on Mars, onto your workbench. But we'll see it in operation in a moment. And it also allows us to play silly little games. Oh, and I can't play it yet, so it's not available. Okay, over here we have the crusher, and that is what we use to salvage resources from damaged or unworkable, non-functional components that we've taken off our rovers. So we put the bad stuff into the crusher and it returns out to us resources which we can then spend by recreating new things in the 3D printer. So it's that kind of mechanic. And here is our workbench, and this is where we do most of the cleaning and taking apart of the individual, the electronic components. So this is the sort of the set. So things like a radio, for example, you wouldn't want to rebuild an entire radio in the 3D printer. You take it apart to find the one little bit, one circuit board or one tuning whatever device was actually wrong with it, and just replace that in the 3D printer. So this workbench is used to disassemble the sort of electronic components, if you will. And you can also use it to clean things which get very dirty, obviously, as you can imagine, on the surface of Mars, things like the solar panels. Right, and our tablet, press F, and this is where we get our jobs, the order selector view. And we choose an order, which you can't see because it's hidden behind the help here. Yeah, so these are the available orders, and we'll take those from there. So let's have a look at one of those orders. This is a machine called a Sojourner, particular model of rover, and it's got a damaged wheel. So we get some preliminary analysis for most jobs, but there are some jobs for which there is no preliminary analysis, and we'll look at ways of improving our ability to work out what's wrong as we go through this little video. So this only requires a limited amount of skill, so I'm a Starman basic. So this is as I get better at the job, as I fix more machines, I earn more sort of experience points and resources as payment for doing the job. So that takes me up in rank, so I get more intricate, more complex and more rewarding jobs from different companies that are operating these rovers on the planet of Mars. And I just hold the left mouse button over the thumbprint here, and that then acknowledges and accepts the job. So this is kind of the tutorial. We're not going to do that here. Right, so what we'll do then is I will go back to the front screen and restart the game using my more established engineer profile. Now, one slightly annoying thing about the game is that when you exit here, you actually exit the game entirely. You don't go back to the main screen, so you can select a different profile. It's not a big deal, the game loads quite quickly, but I just find it annoying that I've got to go all the way out and all the way back in again. But just a personal peeve of mine. The tutorials that we've seen, once you've seen one panel, you can't get it back, but you can actually scroll through all of them on the tutorials option here. And it's just a matter of scrolling through each of them, and I can only see here the tutorial screens I've actually seen as part of the game. As we'll see when we get into the next phase of the video, there's a lot more to see. Right, so let me close this down and I'll be back with you on the other side of this rather sexy video effect. So here we are, back once again in the workshop in Rover Mechanic, Rover Mechanic Simulator. I keep forgetting what it's called. Now, a couple of things I've just realised as well is we're in our workshop, but we can't get out. No, there is no way out of this workshop apart from exiting the game, which is rather sad, really. Okay, so a couple of things I mentioned earlier in the first section of this video, one of which was the tutorial. Actually, I've been around a bit longer now, so there's now 46 of these tutorial tabs to go through. One of which is upgrading your skills and your abilities, what you can do as you get more experience in the game. So if we go to our tablet, everything happens on the tablet basically. So as we complete these jobs, as you can see, the more skilled I get. I'm currently, because I've done so many jobs now, a Chief Master Sergeant Rover Mechanic. Because we've now got more experience, we're a higher rank, we get more jobs. Now some of these you can't complete, and it will tell you if you can't. Some have a very high reward, but as you can see here, there's no preliminary analysis, so you're not quite sure which component might be faulty. Hopefully the notes you get from the client will give you a clue as to which things to look at and work out. And that's part of the whole sort of challenge of this, is discovering and uncovering how these rovers work. And as far as we can tell, these guys, based in Poland, they're actually no relation to the people who created Car Mechanic Simulator. They're both Polish companies, but as you can see, the mechanics of the way the game works are kind of similar, which is probably, you know, par for the course for this sort of game. So these red ones, very high value ones, we're getting no preliminary analysis at all. Are we getting any of these? No, you're not very helpful, are you? It's not giving me any. Oh, there you are. There's a clue. Yeah, so it gives you this preliminary analysis of what might be wrong with this particular piece of kit. Now, when you get more experience, you get more points, and you go up these higher ranks, you can upgrade then your skills. And there are 3 trees that you can focus on. You can sort of scattergun your improvements if you wish, but I think one of the things they suggest, and it does kind of make sense, is to focus on one tree at a time in terms of what you want to get the bonuses for within the game. So you can go for Technician, which basically is making the job easier when it comes to assembling, reassembling, taking things apart, and allows access to the printer from a tablet. Now that's good. So you can see that's locked up there, which means I don't have to walk over to the 3D printer. That's cool. reduces printing times by 25%. This is all good. It just makes you a faster, more efficient technician. The Economist, things are cheaper, more cost efficient, prices of sets, i.e. as the bad example I gave earlier of the radio. A radio is made up of more than just one thing. It's circuit boards, it's tuning things, it's the speakers, all sorts of bits and pieces make up a radio. So the price of sets are reduced, and you get more back when you salvage or crush disused or non-functional parts. So you could go through that tier. I've gone through the analysis one. As you can see here, I've taken 7 skill points already, so I've got 2 for a better chance that a pre-analysed part is noticed when the job comes in. I can clean things faster. Cleaning is a bit of a pain, as we'll see in a moment. Well, I find it a bit of a pain. You might enjoy it. And this is when I first get the rover on the workbench. I have a better chance of spotting, because I'm a skilled technician, a better chance of spotting that something is wrong. I don't have to sort of use the computer analysis tool or take it apart to see there is a fault in there. And this allows, we'll look at the ECU calibration. I mentioned it earlier, a kind of mini game kind of thing. We'll see that as we go through. Now I've got a spare skill point to spend here because I've just upgraded my my rank. So reduces the time, the experience I receive. I've got these. You can clean. Okay, I'll go for a better experience boost when I complete a job, or a chance of. So left mouse button down, hold that, and that's done. Now you can reset these and sort of clear your current bonuses here. The first time you do it, it costs you 1 resource unit. The more times you do it, the more it costs you. Yeah, so be careful of that. Get it right first time, I think, is the idea. I think that's what we'll do. We'll take a job now. What job shall we take? I like this one. I think this is a good one to show off a couple of the different workbenches you've got. So we'll take that one. But before I do, once you get to a certain rank in the game, you have a choice of just doing the job as a good mechanic, or you can offer a premium service, which basically means getting it done within a quicker time. I should be able to do that for most of these. Certainly where they give you clues as to where the problem is, they should be okay, I think, but I'm not going to do that. You get bonuses for doing premium jobs. What's it? Does it tell me? It doesn't tell me what they are. But I think if you fail, you do get penalties, and I don't like penalties, so we won't do that. We're taking this one, aren't we? So we'll take this one, which is it's a simple enough job, but so we're not getting a premium option. And we're not getting great rewards for it either, but we'll take it anyway. So we will accept that job, hold our thumb against that. So our objectives are listed here. These are the things we need to do to get the job completed and sent back. We need to get the rover on the lift onto the workbench, repair it, and then restart the electronic drivers. The preliminary analysis is the HazCam. Right, so let's get out to do it. So the first thing we need to do is get the rover onto our workbench, and we use our control unit here, thumbprint, and we go to the crane. And this is a very simple thing, WASD, move the crane along. In the bottom left there you can see a map of the workshop, so you can sort of see how well aligned your magnetic crane is. That looks good, and the yellow lines also give you that clue as well. And then Shift S to take the crane down. Unfortunately you can't crash it or break it, which is a shame. And then press F to attach it magnetically to the crane, Shift W to take it up, and then move it along here. Again, just line it up with the bench. There you go. And take it all the way down, Shift S and F to release it, and you can just escape out of that and the crane retracts automatically. Right, so our rover is over here waiting to be looked at. So what have we got now? Where's the HazChem thing? Feeling using the WASD keys, is that the HazChem? That's it there. Right, now one of my skills is to be able to identify really bad condition parts, actually, before we do that, let's have a look at our tablet. I just want to check something else here. And the minimum part durability. Yeah, this is them saying to you, if you find any parts which are less than 65% functional, they do need to be repaired. So bear that in mind. It's not usually an issue, because when you do the analysis, it will sort of highlight things that are wrong. So we've got the thing on the workbench. Let's get down again. S, there's the HazChem. A, D to move around. And I can press the 3 key to go into analysis mode, and then right mouse button to analyse it. Now that's looking quite good there, isn't it? HazChem full. That's 67%. Okay, press 1 to get removal mode. Let's take it off. Right, now here there's all sorts of screws holding it in place, so I need to click each of these magnifying glasses and then right mouse button around to remove all the screws. Again, I think this mechanic was slightly easier or slightly more obvious in Car Mechanic Simulator, but as you can see, it's very much the same sort of process. There we go. And that's the HazChem unit. Let's go back up. Now we can see here, go back into analysis mode, press 3, that I have got some very dirty screens here, solar panels. Now these ones I can analyse to see what condition they're in. That's 69%. This one here, for example, I can't because it's too dirty. So let's take it off the, let's unmount it. There we go. And then I can go clean it as well. You can see me doing that. Those screws and these screws. There you go. Take you away. Should we take you as well? I might as well. That's right. Press 1. Oh, I can't remove it because there's something else in the way. The hinge motor, I think. Where is it? Ah, okay, I need to remove that first. Yeah, so I've got the no entry sign there saying can't do that. So I just need to mouse around a bit to find the bit you need to remove first, which is this. Perhaps I shouldn't have started this task. Okay, that's out of the way. I can now remove this. No, I've got to get rid of these hinges first. Slightly odd, but there you are. That's the way the machine is built. Still can't do it. I've got to remove these hinge flaps things first. There you go. Left click on the magnifying. Remove the screws. Okay. Oh, now I can remove it. Now obviously you see, if you're doing a premium service, would you take your time to be a really conscientious mechanic and clean all the parts that are dirty? But we're probably working fine anyway. Now here you see this option, this unit here is a bit dirty. It doesn't look too dirty, so we'll leave it in place. Okay, let's go back to... there's our faulty HazChem. It wasn't the one at the other side, it was this one here. This is the one we need to remove. I didn't realise there were 2 on here. Let's get rid of these screws. So what we'll do is we'll put the other one back, or take it, disconnect it from the circuit board here, or whatever this panel, the patch panel, is that what you would call it? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Not really a hardware kind of guy. So we need to put the I'll put the other HazChem back. Okay, there we go. Because you're not faulty enough. There might be something inside that's faulty, but I think that shows when you look at the outer unit as a whole. But we shall see. And patch you back in. There's so many screws here. That's done. Okay, so I think that's all we need to worry about on there. So what we're going to do, going to go over here to our main workbench, which is here, and we here have the option to clean things like these 2 dirty solar arrays that we that we took off. So we right click and just blow some compressed air over the unit in some sort of logical pattern. As you can see in the bottom right there, is telling you how much cleaner it is now, or how much dirt there is on it. Now, one very annoying thing about this, I've mentioned it on the Steam forums, I think it's a bug, or it's a bad mechanic, if you will, is that if I now say, oh, I think that's clean enough, it looks good to me, it's only 23% dirty, that's still functional. If I come out of here, go back in, as if nothing had happened. Well, I've spent now, could be hours cleaning this, scrubbing this solar panel down, and it's just as dirty as it was before. I think that's bad. But there you are. That's the way it is. Okay, that's looking cleanish, I think. There's sometimes little bits of dirt which you can't quite make out, which are in the crevices. So you do need to watch this percentage here. Now, the other thing to know is you can swing things around by using, not that, the WASD keys. So there we go. Can I tilt that up? If I press the 5 button, you see you've got the control information panel here on the right hand side. So if I press 5, yeah, I can rotate parts using WASD and the shift key, which is what I've done. So I've come out, I've got to go back into it. Okay, start again. Right, so press 5 to hide that panel again, and once again, let's see if we can rotate this this machine. If I do no, it doesn't want to rotate. I want to rotate it kind of up, but it's not going to. So if we clean the back as well, now we're at 0% dirty. There it is. Now let's do the other panel. You don't have to turn all of them around. I think it seems to be mainly the solar panels which can get dirty on the other side. Well, that probably depends on, there you are, that's 0% dirty, that is good. That probably depends on how exposed they are on either side to the elements. So repairing. Right, now the HazCam full here, we can take this apart because it might not be the whole thing that's faulty, it might be one particular part within it, one component within the HazCam. So let's go 1 and remove each of these components. And let's see which bit is faulty. I should have actually left that. Oh, it's that one. Actually, if I press 2 and put that one back, so I can then check them. There we go. And press 3. Analyze that one. You see, that one's good. That one's bad. That's 24%. Now, can I remove these panels? Yes. Yes. And yes. So in there we've got a little circuit board, which is nice. I could have checked if it was still functioning correctly, but I didn't, did I? Yeah, you probably, if you're a real mechanic, you've probably got a protocol book, a step guide to say check all that. Yeah, that ICU, that integrated circuit is fine. Now I wanted to take the integrated circuit out here. Well, what I want to do is remove this bad lens. Well, you can see it. Oh, it does look very mucky, very dirty, very broken, doesn't it? So we'll replace just that lens, not the whole HazCam unit. Okay, I want to take that circuit board out because we're going over to the PCB bench. Hopefully it's one of the components we can look at on here. Yeah, so when you're looking at circuit boards, you can come to the PCB bench here and then analyse each part of the circuit board. Well, all the parts that you are allowed to analyse anyway. There you go. And if you need to take anything off, on a PCB you don't unscrew things, you solder things. So when you disassemble something, you unsolder it and then you reassemble it, you resolder it. So it's a slightly different mechanic, but it works in exactly the same way as the screwdriver. Okay, right, so we now need to come over to our 3D printer, which is here. Now if we look at our tablet, the bits we've taken off the machine, the rover, are shown here as the missing parts. These are the things we've taken off the rover which we need to put back on. Our objective is to fix it. We haven't done that yet, and the analysis was the has cam, which we've now taken off and identified as faulty. The bits we have taken off are in this thing called warehouse. A slightly odd name for it, but what the heck. The bogey here is something I created by mistake earlier. The red brushes and the rotor here are something I took off the previous job. They should be salvaged. What I want to do here is look at the bits that I need to recreate, to rebuild. That's this one here, the has cam lens. Now, if you've taken some things apart at the bench, you may not have their full sort of evaluation of functionality. You can do that here on the tablet by identifying the unit. If we go here and pressing F to analyze it, and there you are, that says 84%. That is fine. And the solar panels, 70, and that one 70, 65. You should be fine. All these hinges should be good too. Yeah, I haven't found a problem with any of those yet, so that's fine. So it is only the has cam lens that we need to reprint. So let's come in here and let's search for a has cam lens. There you go. It's going to take 1100 resource units. I currently have 25,000. I can afford it, so we'll take that, and that will take a minute, and it is a real minute to build, to print out. Now, obviously, if you're doing this for several parts, that could be several minutes. Now, one of the upgrades you can do on our tablet, I think, is to increase the speed by which things print. But I've not done that yet. So if you're waiting for several minutes, you can either just wander around and listen to your music, or you can go to the MCU here and play a little game. Snake, for example. I don't know if there are any other games on here. But yeah, just WASD, controlling that. And the thing is, once you complete this, depending on your score, you will get extra resources. So it's worth doing. It's a little sort of extra bonus to the game. I'm not very good at this. As you know, I'm not a WASD player, though I am somehow learning to cope. Oh, I've got it. Right, it looks like our printer has finished working, so we'll come out of that. And yeah, I got a few more resources added to my wallet. Good. Okay, so the printer is finished, and you do need to remember to come along here and pick up the new part. Actually, while I'm here over this side of the workshop, let's recycle these old bad parts. So we'll add those in here, and the old lens. Okay, and I'm going to recover 79 resources for those 3 bad bits. There we go. Okay, let's come back to the bench and let's put everything back into place. So press 2 to get into reassemble mode. Okay, and then click. Oh, you need to click it first. I like to do these bits first before the panels, because I assume the panels are more delicate and more prone to being broken if you step on them, kind of thing. So right click, let's reassemble. I can't do that because it's not complete, and it knows that. Very clever. Yeah, I took it apart, didn't I? So I need to come back here to the bench, repair it, the has cam. So number 2, to put things back into place. Yeah, that's the integrated circuit. Put the lens back. Yep, good one. Rescrew that. There we go. And these covers on the ICs. There we go. Screw that back down. Right click. Yeah, put that cover back on. And that should now be back fully complete. I think that is good. Right. Okay. Yeah. As you can see, I'm not a fully trained mechanic, so I am. Oh, no, I don't. I don't know what you can do with those rover units here. Don't know if you can ever go out and drive them. Okay, let's come back here. Let's put our HazCam unit back in place. There you go. Again, lots of screws to screw back in. The sound effects are all quite nice. You know, the different types of screw have slightly different sounds. The 3D printer makes a noise as it's creating and printing your new components. And obviously the cleaning compressed air thing did its thing. So I'll put you back. Yeah. Lots more screws. And there. Okay, and as you can see, again, a bit like Car Mechanic Simulator, it does guide you through reasonably well the bits to put back in the right order. Okay, so I've put back all the parts that I took off initially, and I've just walked away from the workbench. I can go to my tablet. As it says here, the rover is complete, there are no missing parts, so everything is in place. As yet, I've not restarted the drivers, so the final step here, I think this applies to all rovers, though there was one I did earlier on where I didn't do this step, but you know, they took the job away anyway. You need to restart the drivers, and you do that by reinserting this configurator plug. So right click on that to put that in, and then you come across here to the ECU to configure this. Now this is kind of a little mini game of connecting the battery through these plus and minus gates to the circuit to achieve a certain voltage. And what you do here, if you work out, we've got 3s and 2s, 3 minus 3s, plus 1s. So I think if we add a couple of 3s and a 2 and take 2 away, that should work. Now it does make life easy for you because you can only click into these boxes here by looking at the number of links that you can put in. So that sort of guides you to roughly what the route you would take. Now, if you don't want to go through this game, you can upgrade, as I did earlier, to do this automatically. But let me just take you through it anyway while we're here. So we're on there. Let's go down here, down there, click there to take that in there, and on this one we're going to have to go round the corner, I think. So right click to turn you around into that one, there, and this one, back up again. There you go, up here, take that, you can go in there. And I've only got one connecting object left to put in, so it looks like I've got the right circuit. Put you in there, and I just click on each of these voltage points and choose which ones I want. So I put 3 in there, a 3 in there, that gives me 6, so I need to take 2 away by clicking there, minus 2. Job done. It gets a bit tedious after a while, but you know, it's a fun little exercise. And as I said, you can upgrade using the analysis upgrade tree. Let's have a look at that. The analyst tree, yeah, so it was this one, the perfect calibration. Enables the automatic ECU calibration. So it takes a little while to get there, but you know, within about 4 or 5 upgrades you can get there. Right, so once that job is done, the objectives, we've completed them all. We can now complete the order. We will get 987 resources back and we'll earn 250 experience. Yep, that's it. And we're moving up. I think our next job, and I will get another rank upgrade. Right, so that is pretty much the game. It's just going through these. So what am I thinking at this point? I'm thinking it's quite fun. It is. It works. The lovely models for the rovers are lovely and realistic. They look good. It's a lovely way to spend half an hour or so just chilling and relaxing and just doing something without having to stress your mind too much about grand strategy and economics theory and network routing and stuff. But compared to, say, Car Mechanic Simulator, which I haven't played for a little while, to be honest, so this is me just remembering it, I think there was more to do in Car Mechanic Simulator. Again, just against that game has been in development for a good number of years. It's been through a good number of iterations, so they've been able to work on getting the core mechanics of that game right, so they can then expand it, so you can go outside the workshop, you can go to auction rooms, You can do all sorts of different things. Even the basic mechanics of a car have a number of different things you can do, like oil changes, and as well as just taking bits apart and putting them back together again. Whereas on the Rovers, at the moment, it looks very simple. You just take things apart, and they're either electronic components you need to break down into individual components, just clean stuff, reprint it, and put it back on. So I think once you've got the basics done, then there's not a lot more to learn or to achieve in the game. But saying that, it's a nice diversion for half an hour or an hour, whatever little time you've got to waste on the computer, and just chill with doing something like this. And it can be a bit of a challenge if you get one of the more difficult quests where you've got no idea what the job is, so you could spend hours taking stuff apart. Though it does say here you could do it within 25 minutes. So presumably it's not that complicated. Who knows? But yeah, so it'd be nice to see more in the game, I think. Now there is one thing here. This unit here. I have no idea what it's for. Hold up. Is it possible to move your rovers onto this unit? I don't know. So you can access them from the top and the bottom. Are there more rovers they've got on the plan, on the roadmap, for you to play with, which require you to get up and under or up and over on that unit? That would be nice. But yes, apart from that machine here, we've learned everything there is to see in this game within just a couple of hours or so. So as I say, fun, but I think it needs more. It is only in release 1, so there is hopefully more to come from this. But it is nice, it works, it does the job, but I think, yeah, after a while it will become just a sort of a casual game rather than something which you're going to spend hours in and thinking deeply and having to do complex stuff in. But there you are, that's it, my first look at Rover Mechanic Simulator, available now from Steam, and I don't know what other platforms there are it's available on. But that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today for this first look at Rover Mechanic Simulator. If you've enjoyed this, then do let me know. A little bit of a like would be lovely. Click on the old thumbs up. Even better though, if you've played the game and have thoughts on it, or if you've discovered something I've not mentioned here, then do let me know. In fact, whatever you think about the game or this first look video, just let me know. Just write a note into the comments box below. It would be awesome to hear from you. And of course, if you've not already subscribed to the channel, you could do that now. And that way you'll know when I upload another one of these first look type videos or any of my other Let's Play series. But from me, Ajaxpost, here in Rover Mechanic Simulator. Until the next time, bye bye for now.